Hello again, NCAC sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in the NCAC. I'm your host, Brett Billhart. On this week's show, we'll look at action from across the North Coast Athletic Conference for the week ending on Sunday, September the 23rd. We'll open this week's show by looking at field hockey results from across the league last week. DePaul has raced out to a perfect 6-0 league record, while Kenyon also maintains an unblemished NCAC record of 5-0. Kenyon picked up 3 wins last week over Denison, Oberlin, and Bethany to run its current win streak to 6 straight, which is the program's longest such streak since the 2006 season. Ladies freshman Maddie Bresky was named the NCAC Field Hockey Player of the Week after tallying 2 goals and 1 assist for 5 total points on the week. She entered the week with a 3-game scoring streak and extended it to 5 after scoring a goal and dishing out an assist against Denison and then adding the game-winning goal against Oberlin. The DePaul Tigers have yet to concede a goal in league play and currently sport a minuscule 0.78 team GAA, which ranks near the top in NCAA Division III field hockey. And finally, Ohio Wesleyan picked up its first 2 conference wins of the season after knocking off Worcester 2-1 and Earlham 4-0. Freshman Montana Knapp scored both OU goals in the victory over Worcester and came back with 2 more tallies against Earlham. League contests continue this week with 1 game scheduled for Wednesday, 2 for Thursday, and 4 more on Saturday. There was little action on the NCAC cross-country circuit last week, as only Hiram, Oberlin, and Wittenberg were in competition. Oberlin traveled to Massachusetts for the Williams College Purple Valley Classic. The Yeowomen finished 4th out of 15 squads, while the Yeomen placed 11th out of 17 teams. Yeowoman sophomore Emma Lehman was named the NCAC Runner of the Week after covering the 6K course in a time of 23:14. She finished 19th overall to enable Oberlin to defeat 3 top 20 nationally ranked squads in NYU, Amherst, and Tufts. And on the men's side, Oberlin freshman Gino Arthur was crowned the NCAC Runner of the Week after finishing 30th overall at the event with a time of 27:17. The Wittenberg cross-country squads traveled to Westerville on Saturday for the Otterbein Invitational, where the men finished 9th overall and the women were 6th out of 12 teams. And Hiram was also in action at the Lorain County Community College Invitational, which saw the men's squad finish 3rd and the women 5th. This weekend's cross-country schedule has a full slate of action, highlighted by all 7 Ohio-based NCAC squads competing at the All-Ohio Invitational at Cedarville University on Saturday afternoon. And we'll now shift our attention to the Lynx, where there was also minimal action across the conference. On the women's side, Allegheny and DePaul wrapped up the O'Brien Invitational on September 17th on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. The Tigers finished 4th overall with a 2-day total of 649, led by junior Kelsey Smith, who finished 2nd overall after carding a 153, which did include a tournament low round of 70 on Sunday. The Gators were 7th at the event and got their top round from junior Miranda Santucci, who finished in a tie for 7th with a 36-hole total of 157. DePaul also hosted Denison, Ohio Wesleyan, Wittenberg, and a grouping of non-conference squads at its annual Small College Classic at Deer Creek Golf Club this past weekend. DPU won the 36-hole event with a score of 662, followed by Wittenberg in 2nd with a 669, Denison in 4th with a 694, and Ohio Wesleyan finished 6th with 735 strokes. Denison freshman Bryn Fitzgerald led all NCAC competitors at the event in 2nd place overall after carding a 161, while DPU's Kelsey Smith tied for 3rd with a 2-day total of 164. In addition, Big Red senior Liz Tristano recorded the first hole-in-one in Denison women's golf history in the opening round after acing the 117-yard par 3 11th hole. DPU's Kelsey Smith did collect NCAC Women's Golfer of the Week laurels after posting a pair of top 5 finishes in separate events last week. And in men's golf, Allegheny put the final touches on the Guy W. Kuhn Invitational on Monday at the Country Club of Meadville. The Gators entered day 2 with a 3-stroke lead, but couldn't hang on as Point Park narrowly edged them out with a 1-stroke lead in the final standings as PPU totaled 597 strokes to Allegheny's 598. Gator junior Oliver White was crowned the NCAC Men's Golfer of the Week after finishing in a tie for 3rd at the event with a 2-day total of 145. In addition, Wabash captured a 7-3 victory over Rose-Hulman at the annual Giant Engineer Match Play Classic held at Crawfordsville Country Club in Indiana. Sophomore Nick Sommer shot a 72 to pace the Little Giants in the victory as he finished 2nd in the individual standings. NCAC golf action continues this weekend, highlighted by Kenyon hosting an invitational for men's squad at Mount Vernon Country Club, while Ohio Wesleyan will host a women's event at Oak Haven Golf Club in Delaware. And let's now break down action from across the pitch last weekend as NCAC soccer squads are now into league play. In women's action, Wittenberg knocked off Allegheny 1-0 to jump into an early lead in the league standings with Denison. Tiger senior defender Kelly Brothers teamed with sophomore Chelsea Markham to provide the last-second heroics against Allegheny. With the game scoreless through the first 89 minutes, Markham delivered a corner kick into the box that Brothers headed into the back of the net for the game winner. Kenyon kicked its offense into full gear last week as well against non-conference opponents as the ladies knocked off Mount St. Joseph 3-0 and Earlham 4-3. Sophomore Becca Romaine earned NCAC Women's Player of the Week laurels after netting 5 of the ladies' 7 goals on the week. In addition, DePaul picked up its first win of the season with a 1-0 league triumph over Hiram on Saturday. And on the men's side, Hiram remains the only unbeaten squad after improving to 8-0 overall and 1-0 in league play with a 3-2 win over DePaul on Saturday. The Allegheny Gators are also off to a hot start at 7-1-1 overall and 0-0-1 in NCAC action. The Gators opened the week with a 3-1 victory over number 21 Baldwin Wallace on September 18th, then tied Wittenberg 2-2 in league action on Saturday before taking down number 17 Barry 3-1 on Sunday. Gator senior David Del Greco earned the NCAC Men's Soccer Player of the Week honor after netting 4 goals on the week, including both Gator tallies in the draw against Wittenberg. Del Greco currently leads the Gators with 13 points this season on 6 goals and 1 assist. League action continues for both genders in the coming week, including NCAC lid lifters for Worcester, Kenyon, Ohio Wesleyan, and Oberlin on the women's side, and Ohio Wesleyan and Worcester on the men's side. And finally, we'll wrap up this week's show by breaking down action from across the NCAC gridiron on Saturday. In the game of the weekend, Allegheny upset nationally ranked Wabash in overtime by a final tally of 20-17 on Saturday in Crawfordsville. With the score tied at 17 at the end of regulation, the Gators possessed the ball first in overtime, and freshman running back Tyler Smith rushed 5 times for 19 yards to set up sophomore kicker Ryan Mong for a 28-yard field goal that he drilled through the uprights to give the Gators a 20-17 edge. The Gators' defense then stepped up to the challenge and prevented the Little Giants from converting a first down in overtime, and proceeded to erupt in celebration as Wabash's game-tying field goal attempt sailed wide right. Tyler Smith racked up 78 rushing yards on 13 carries in the contest, but no carry was bigger than his 9-yard touchdown scamper in the fourth quarter that knotted the game up at 17 apiece. Smith was named the NCAC Football Offensive Player of the Week for his efforts. The win marked the first Allegheny victory over Wabash in 8 seasons. Credit must also be given to the Allegheny offensive line, comprised of Jesse Battaglia, Ty Pryor, Taylor L. Ani, Connor Sharp, and Zach Palmer, who paved the way for 176 Allegheny rushing yards and also allowed 0 sacks in 40 drop-back attempts by senior quarterback Mike Person. Wittenberg kept its perfect record intact with its 17-7 road victory over Worcester. Tiger senior John Daniels recovered 2 fumbles in the contest, including a game-changing forced fumble and recovery in the third quarter at the Fighting Scots 5-yard line that led directly to the Tigers' go-ahead touchdown. Daniels was also recognized for his efforts and was named the NCAC Defensive Player of the Week. In the final league matchup of the weekend, Denison upended Hiram 38-10. DU was led by senior running back Sam Fioroni, who rushed for 129 yards and 1 score, while also hauling in 9 receptions for 80 yards and 1 score in the victory. Also of note over the weekend included Ohio Wesleyan's dramatic 17-14 victory over Case, which saw sophomore kicker Miles McKenzie drill a 46-yarder at the gun to give the Battling Bishops the 3-point triumph in their home opener at Selby Stadium. With the win, the Battling Bishops are off to a 3-0 start for the first time since the 2001 season. League action continues across the gridiron once again this Saturday as Denison hosts Worcester. Oberlin travels to Allegheny, and Ohio Wesleyan entertains Hiram. Fans, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings from around the North Coast Athletic Conference, you can log on to our website at www.northcoast.org. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCAC, as well as like us on Facebook. And for the entire conference staff, I'm Brett Billhart, and thanks for watching.